As you know, Ariel Castro was re-indicted and faced an additional 600 new charges, and they were primarily to include all of the events up until the date of the release of the women in May of 2013. We've had ongoing discussions with the prosecutor's office towards a resolution of this matter, and we are pleased that the recent result in the grand jury did not have an inclusion of the death penalty specification. That means that ultimately any presentation that we made on Mr. Castro's behalf was successful to this juncture. Now, whether the prosecutor's office wants to continue to engage in any sort of rhetoric about their desire to continue to contemplate the death penalty in this instance, we can't control that. But what we are doing is looking forward to the resolution of this matter to spare the women of having to provide any details of these horrible events to the world at large. And so that's our goal at this juncture. And the process is obviously continuing. We do have a trial date of August 5th, which we do not intend to move. So we are preparing for that trial, however, with the goal in mind to try to resolve this case for the fairness of the women as well as the community, so everybody can put this behind them.
Craig, we saw the judge order the defendant to raise his head, open his eyes, look at me. Is he dazed, confused, disrespectful, embarrassed? Can you characterize why he won't look at the judge, please?
I'm not going to comment on that.
We're not going to take any more questions, okay, folks?
Are you having active dialogue with the prosecutor now about a resolution, or is it just pretty much at a standstill?
No, we can answer that, and there's been a dialogue with the prosecutor's office since the inception of this case. It's a unique set of circumstances, and there are very unique, complex issues, and we're trying to work through those, and that's what a prosecutor should do with defense counsel. Even though we're adversaries, you ultimately want to reach the goal, particularly the goal that the women have in this case, and you want to acknowledge that they want a resolution of this as well, and I think that that's the responsibility of the prosecutor's office, and I admire them that they are continuing to adhere to that, and ultimately that's our goal as well.
Does Ariel want the same resolution, Craig? Does Ariel want the same resolution?
What if the women want to testify and say, yeah, he terminated my pregnancy?
I don't know what the women want to do. I've only, just like the public in general, I've only seen their comments that they've made, so I don't know what their current mindset is. But my instinct tells me, and I may be wrong, but my instinct tells me that they do not want the details of what happened to them over the course of 10 years disclosed to the world.
Does Ariel have the same? Does Ariel have the same goal as what you're contemplating?
We're not prepared to discuss anything that we've discussed with our client. You understand attorney-client privilege.
So aggravated murder with life without parole, would that be acceptable?
We're not going to get into specifics of a plea agreement, folks. I mean, we're just
Can you
trying
talk
to.
at all about what you
impressions?
said to the Capital Review Committee when you presented to them?
Those hearings are not public record. We're not going to get into what was discussed.
Craig, can you tell us how close you think you are with making a decision with the prosecution? Is it days, weeks, or?
Well, we have a trial date of August 5th, so either we're going to have a plea or we're going to trial on August 5th.
That sounds close to us.
You wouldn't consider postponing that August 5th date?
That hasn't been discussed, no, sir.
What were your impressions of the women's video? Did that have any effect on?
I think ultimately it's irrelevant what our impressions are, and although we are certainly happy to see that they're making progress, I mean, we're human beings, and we acknowledge and accept the fact that they're deeply troubled by what happened, and we are glad to see that they're making progress, and it's got to be an extremely difficult thing for them. And again, we don't want to exacerbate the problems that they're enduring. So we are happy ultimately to see where they're at today. All right, thank you.
Okay, thank
Thanks,
you.
guys.